Namaskar and good evening, friends. I am Vijay Mohan, National Stock Exchange Certified Market Professional Level 5, which is the highest certification that they are giving. I've been running this channel for quite some time successfully. All of you have been listening to my videos. I wish you recommend this channel to more and more people so that many people take advantage of the methods that we are following and invest intelligently, successfully, and become wealthy, prosperous, and rich. So kindly make everybody a subscriber to this channel, make everybody a long-term investor. This channel is not for those people who want to make money quickly within a day, 2, 3, 1 week. No, this is not for short-term traders. It is for long-term investors who only can be successful in the long term. Now, I want to teach you the theoretical basis on which you can be a successful investor. You need to know the theoretical basis on which you can select a multi-bagger. You need to learn a few things. That's why I went through a number of exams conducted by the NSE and was certified as the Market Professional Level 5. And subsequently also I have been learning. Earlier I was MA in economics. That also helped me. I was Deputy General Manager training at a National Academy of the BSNL at Hyderabad. There I was teaching many things about finance and accounts, about HR skills, etc. All these experiences have given me sufficient insights to successful investing. Now let us go through it step by step. Now, these are all things which, some people may not be willing to learn, but it is necessary to learn. If you want to be a successful investor, you need the theoretical basis. You should not commit certain mistakes, you should follow certain methods, and you need patience. Some people ask me, sir, please tell us within 5 minutes whether the stock is good or bad. No, please don't ask such questions. Be willing to listen. Some analysts make videos as long as 1 hour plus. I'm making less than 15 minutes. That's probably the minimum time required to assess a company. But I am looking at the company for more than 2 days at least before presenting to you the statistical method. I don't select bad companies, generally speaking. But if some company is bad and many people are investing there, I want to tell you that that company is not worth investing, at least right now. Now, which company is good to invest, which company is not good to invest, that we need to learn scientifically. For that, there is a theoretical basis. So we will learn that. You need to analyze the stocks. I also analyze the stocks in many ways. Basically, there are 2 methods of analyzing the stocks. Stocks means shares of public limited companies. That's what I am very specific about that. I am not going beyond that. The stocks that we purchase, hold and sell in the National Stock Exchange or the Bombay Stock Exchange, etc. Now, what are the 2 methods which are used generally for stock analysis? The 2 methods are fundamental analysis and technical analysis. Fundamental analysis basically tells us the strengths of a company, the weaknesses of a company, and we try to arrive at a fair market value. We know the market price today, this minute, what is the price that we know. Any channel will tell us. There are so many websites also. You know the current market price. But why do you want to purchase at the current market price? There is something called intrinsic value, a fair market value. Remember these terms: intrinsic value, fair market value, one and the same. Now we try to determine that intrinsic value or fair market value, which is the real value of a share, real worth of a share. And if that is higher, we buy, higher than the current market price, then we buy. Otherwise we don't buy. Any Tom, Dick and Harry share, that we don't buy. The intrinsic value should be higher. The intrinsic value you should know. Then this is one method. It is called fundamental analysis. Knowing the intrinsic value and thereby making decision. That is called fundamental analysis. Technical analysis is you take some graphs, past patterns of price and volumes, and thereupon you try to project them further into the future. If the future price is higher, that is a trend, market trend. Then based on the graphs, if you try to project a future price, that is called technical analysis. Now fundamental analysis, who uses? Long-term investors, medium-term investors use fundamental analysis. They should not go by technical analysis. My suggestion. Then purely short-term investors will use a technical analysis. They don't go by fundamental analysis. The dirtiest share also gives them profits sometimes if the market trend is higher. But we are not going to go through technical analysis now. We are going to go through fundamental analysis. Thereupon, let us see sometime technical analysis also. Now, we can combine both of them also. Fundamental analysis, say 90%, technical analysis 10%, to get best results. Do you understand that? Long-term investors must focus on fundamental analysis. Short-term investors should focus on technical analysis. As simple as that. Now, fundamental analysis, I repeat once more, we are trying to look at various numbers, compare them, and then project an intrinsic or fair market value. That is what we want to do in fundamental analysis. We want to know what is the actual real worth of a share. If that is higher than the current market price, the assumption is the current market price sometime or other will try to catch up with that higher intrinsic value, therefore we buy. You see, when the intrinsic or fair market value is higher than the current market price, the real worth is more than the current market price, we call such a share stock as undervalued. Every analyst calls it as undervalued. Now, the analyst feels it is undervalued, then the temptation is to buy that at the current price. The current price will sometime in the future go up to the intrinsic worth. Now, when are the stocks overvalued? When the current market price is higher than the intrinsic worth. Intrinsic worth is lower. Current market price is higher means it is overvalued. It is no buy stock. We don't recommend the stock for buying. The market price is higher, so we don't buy. Whether to hold or sell such a stock, that depends upon some other factors. But it is not a buy stock. Now, technical analysis. What do the technical analysts do? Technical analysts ignore all the fundamental factors. They only study and project historical price trends of the stock. Say for the last 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. And then project it further based on the trends. That's called trend analysis. Based on the trend analysis, if stock is likely to rise further, then it is a buy stock. Based on the analysis, if it is likely to go down, it is a no buy stock. But it is based on price trends, nothing fundamental about it. As I said, even the dirtiest stocks, bad stocks are also bought by technical investors, short-term investors, and sold. But I am in favor of long-term investing. I am repeating, don't be a short-term investor and lose money on the market. That's a rather tricky game. So be a long-term investor. Warren Buffett, long-term investor. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, long-term investor. Ramdev Agarwal, long-term investor. Purinzu Veliath, long-term investor. So many. Vijay Kedia, long-term investor. They made heaps of money. Be a long-term investor. Now, fundamental analysis. What do they study? They study three things: macroeconomic factors, microeconomic factors, and company-specific factors. What are macroeconomic factors? Economic growth rate, gross domestic product. Have you heard of it? Gross national product. Whether GDP, GNP, whether they are going up or down. That we need to know. You need not calculate. These are all readily available data. Then interest rates for debt financing especially. Companies go for debt. Which way the interest rates are moving, that you need to know. Then unemployment. If unemployment is more, sales will be less. Employable people will be available at lower wages. Two things are there. That is unemployment. Then economic growth rates is one, interest rates, unemployment, international trade. What do the other countries want? What can we export to them? What can we import from them? These things. That is international. That also we need to know. See, China has been supplying us raw materials for making our drugs, APIs, etc. 70% of APIs are made from raw materials got from China till recently. Now we are reducing under Atmanirbhar program. Modi ji has introduced. Now we don't want to depend upon unreliable people like China. Then another question is inflation. Whether the prices are rising, whether the prices are falling. If raw material prices are rising, then the cost of goods will increase. If the raw material prices are falling, the cost of goods will fall. Then the products made by companies will yield more profits. So companies will try to see places where raw materials are available at a lower price. Then phases of business cycle. Business cycles also go up, down, like that. So, boom, depression like that. So, you need to know in which phase the business cycle is. Then money supply. If money supply is more, prices are likely to rise. If money supply is tightened, prices are likely to fall. Then the level of government debt. So such things are there. These are called macroeconomic factors. Every seasoned analyst keeps these things in mind. We don't calculate any of these things. So it is calculated by somebody else, and we understand them to know which way the cost will move for a company. So, where do you get the macroeconomic data? Budgets, government surveys, RBI surveys, government data, economic newspapers, research papers of economic scientists, annual reports of companies. Read annual reports of companies. The first part of it is macroeconomic data that they give. Market reports, trade publications, UNO reports, and so on. Fundamental analysis use publicly available data, macroeconomic data, to understand the effect of that on the company. Then we also use microeconomic factors which affect either the company or the sector. Demand for the products, supply of the products, supply of labor at what wages, raw material availability, competition, the impact of customers, availability of employees, distribution channels. So there are efficient distribution channels in various countries. Our country also is okay, but we need to create more distribution channels. Then level of competition. If the competition is already heavy, if you want to get into that competition, your products may sell, may not sell. If the competition is low, you can enter and make money. In some cases, you will be the only person. It is called monopoly. In some cases, there is already one fellow, you are the second fellow. It is called duopoly. There are more people, it is called oligopoly. Then availability of investors. You want to invest your money, but there may be many more people interested in investing your business. Okay? Venture capitalists, VPs, that's what we call. So many such things. Demand for the product, supply of the product, so many things are there called. These are called microeconomic factors. I study these things also. Please understand that. Then company specific factors. This is the most important thing that we study. Micro, macro, etc. we keep in mind. Once you understand, that is enough. But the company specific factors like revenues, earnings, future growth, expansions, return on equity, profit margins, etc. these are called company specific factors. Microeconomic factors, macroeconomic factors, and company specific factors. So we have seen overweight, underweight. If intrinsic value actually is the opinion of the analyst based on his calculations. You make calculations, but then it is your opinion, analyst opinion. Some other analyst may calculate in a different way, and the intrinsic value that is calculated by him may be different. Intrinsic values differ from analyst to analyst also, but they will be following a trend. So compare the intrinsic value with the market price. If intrinsic value is higher, analyst is overweight on that company and he is tempted to buy. If intrinsic value is lower than current market price, analyst is underweight on the stock. So he doesn't recommend a buy. Now let us come to the lower stage, macro, micro, company specific factors. Company specific factors, there your analysis is again in two parts: quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis. Quantitative analysis can be represented by numbers. It is calculated through numbers on information available in financial statements. Qualitative analysis is also very important, that it is subjective. Whether the management is good, whether the industry is good, so many factors are, we'll go through those things also. So quantitative analysis is there, qualitative analysis is there. In my analysis, I give you those things also, generally. So, quantitative analysis, what are the sources? Trading and profit and loss account, are generally called profit and loss account. Balance sheet, cash flow statement. See, these are prepared, and then quarterly statements nowadays. So, these are all prepared by the company and they are publicly available data. Then, based on the figures in the trading and profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow statement, etc., financial ratios are calculated. So, these are all the sources of quantitative data. So, the data available is there: revenue, expenses, profit, assets, liabilities, cash flows, etc. So, there it is precise. A number is there available. Then qualitative data. What is that? Qualitative data is not number wise. It is not tangible. You have to assume, but it is required. 4 factors are studied in qualitative analysis. Business model. Is it located at one place or different places? Is it supplying to customers directly, or business to business, or business to wholesalers, business to MNCs? So, what is the business model? Where do you manufacture? One place or 10 places? Then competitive advantage. Is it a monopoly? Is it a duopoly? Is it an oligopoly? Are you the only one? Are you is there one competitor, or there are many competitors? That is competitive advantage. Then management quality. How good are the managers? Many times management quality makes or breaks the company. That also you need to assess. That's why I give 5 years data also sometimes, and dividend policy and all those things I give to assess the management quality. Then corporate governance. Are they following ethical practices or not? So corporate governance is important. Do you keep your customers happy? Do you keep your employees happy? Do you keep your middle management happy? And so on. Do you want product quality to be the topmost, world class, India class, the best in the industry? Do you want that? Or do you want a standard or below standard? That's corporate governance. So you need to know business model, you need to know the competitive advantage, you need to know the management quality, you need to know corporate governance practices. Many of these things are mentioned in the annual reports. So, how much is the customer base? How much? What are the regulations of the government? What are the business size? All these things you need to know. So now let us go to see subjective things. Now qualitative we have seen. Quantitative. Where from do you get that? We said balance sheet. In the balance sheet, I'll give you small things. Thereupon we'll see in detail also later on. So on the one side there are assets. Long-term assets are fixed assets and current assets, which will be exhausted within 1 year. Current assets means exhausted within 1 year. Long-term assets means they will be having a long life. That is on one side. And these assets are built with either the equity of the company. Equity of the company is given by promoters and public, plus long-term debt and short-term debt. Short-term debt is called current liabilities. So, on the one side assets, and the other side liabilities. That is called balance sheet. Both of them will balance. The sources of funds and the assets. The sources of assets and the assets. You get the funds, create assets. So, these assets are used for manufacturing or doing the business. Okay? Now, when you do the business, you are further spending money on so many items of expenditure. So factory expenses, administrative expenses, so many expenses will be there, distribution expenses, so many expenses will be there, and there will be profits also. At the first level, you get what is known as a gross profit. At the second level, you get a net profit. Some other levels are also there. So these things are available in what is known as an income statement or a profit and loss account. The profit and loss account or income statement gives you the revenues on one side and the expenses on the other side, and finally the profit. The profit is calculated at different levels. Gross profit, EBITDA, EBIT, so many levels, and finally the net profit. So that is called profit and loss account. And there is another thing which is now mandatory, statement of cash flows. So all other things can be manipulated, but cash flows cannot be manipulated. Therefore, cash flow statement is prescribed. The cash flow statement gives a more honest, more transparent numbers rather. It is a summary of the business's cash flows, inflows and outflows both. So here we divide them into three parts. Cash flow statement is one, but operating cash flows, what comes from day-to-day operations, there is spending, there is revenue. So operating cash flows always yield a plus figure generally for most companies, unless they are loss-making companies. So that yields cash generated from day-to-day transactions over a long period. Usually it is prepared either quarterly or annual. All these things are, balance sheet is prepared on a particular date, based on a particular assets on a particular date, liabilities on a particular date. Income statement is for a period, maybe 1 quarter or 1 year. Now, statement of cash flows is also for a period. Starts with an opening balance and then operating cash flows. The cash flows are used for operations and cash flows got from operations. Then cash flows from investing. You invest in assets, or sometimes you may sell the assets also. So investing should be a negative figure. You must be investing in assets. The assets will give you future revenues. Therefore, cash from investing is usually a negative figure. If it is a positive figure, it means that you have sold something. Sold assets. Then cash from financing. Operations are different. Financing is what loans you get and what loans you give. Cash paid or received from issuing and borrowing of funds. So this is cash flow statement. So then cash on hand, cash at bank are things which cannot be manipulated at all. Certain things are to be checked by the auditor even personally. On the last date, how much cash is available. So that is to be checked and certified. Then last and final thing is ratio analysis. You see, balance sheet gives certain figures. Income statements or profit and loss account gives certain figures. The cash flow statement gives certain figures. Now, these are numbers. Based on these are all related numbers. All these are related to each other. Now, these related numbers are made into ratios. Now, these sales, for instance, I will give you a simple example. Sales is there, profits are there. Let us say sales are 1,000 crores, profits are 250 crores. So, profits are 1/4 or 25% of the sales in one company. In another company, sales are 1,000 crores, but profits are 100 crores. So, there the profits are 1/10. Which company is preferable? So that is profit margin. So sales and profits are related. Equity and debt are related. So many such related things are there in the financial statements, the comparison of which gives the health or ill health of the company. So that is why we go for ratio analysis. A company is having strong fundamentals. If the balance sheet analysis profit and loss account analysis, cash flow statement analysis, ratio analysis, give you a sense that the company is running very profitably, very well, and it will run on a long-term basis. Then it is said to have strong fundamentals. Sometimes companies have weak fundamentals. They don't have the cash to pay laborers. They may have great sales, but they don't have cash for paying the laborers or for their creditors. Weak fundamentals. I think you have understood something. All these things I am using in my analysis. You will find that. Now, after knowing all these things, when you are listening to me, you will find all these factors I am using. I read annual reports. Their macroeconomic factors, microeconomic factors, industry-specific factors, company-specific factors, all these are available. And I make ratios. I get ratios from others, and I also make certain ratios myself. And then I tell you whether it is a strong company or weak company. I don't tell you you buy. That is your headache. See, there are 10 strong companies. You buy the strongest company from them. You understand that? I am giving you every quarter. This quarter I have so far given about 50 companies. Most of them are strong companies. Now, if you want to buy, say, 4 or 5 companies, choose the strongest of them. Do you understand that? I will be back with you with fundamental analysis and many more things in the next video. Thank you for listening. Please do listen 2-3 times. Understand them. I am using all these things. I am not telling you just theory. I am using all these things. And you also must. Don't ask me to make a 5-minute video. I can make it. Sometimes I will. When you ask a certain thing, I will. But I am making just 12 minutes, 9 minutes, 15 minutes maximum. Sometimes 20 minutes. Very rarely. But that's the minimum time that is required for you to understand whether the company is good or not, whether it is strong or not. Please, that much time is required. So listen well. Listen to every video 2-3 times. These videos, theoretical videos, listen several times. Understand. And then listen to my videos. See that all these factors are there. Okay. Thank you for listening. I will be back with you. I will make you a very sensible, knowledgeable investor if you go through all these things. Thank you.